I'm going to take up the next call here. We have David who's calling in from Indiana, and David wants to ask us info on how to raise their child and explain why you don't have relationships with other relatives with different views. David, you're live on Talk Heathen. What's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Wow.
Good. I'm going to tell you this right now. I can tell you my perspective on things until I'm blue in the face, but I don't have any kids, and so I can't give you that direct experience that you want. I have worked with kids. I've worked with all kinds of people, so I'll tell you how it is. But tell us about your situation, David. What's going on?
So my son he's 3 years old, getting ready to be 4 here soon, and I've started really thinking about, because there are some people in my life, family members, I've had to cut out for various reasons, some ranging from extreme to, I guess you could say minor things, but enough to where it makes me feel uncomfortable about what they're saying. Mm-hmm. And, obviously I don't want to tell my son, hey, you can't talk to these people because I don't agree with them. I don't want to do that. But, I have started realizing that, there's going to come a time to where he's going to ask, why is it this person here or why isn't that person here? And obviously I'm going to have to explain to him the situation. So what would be the best way to explain to him about what's going on?
So I think my first thought is there might not be there's not a perfect way. The idea of best is going to depend a little bit on you and a little bit on who your child is and what their personality is like. I think a good rule of thumb is to talk to children about what your values are. So, we're a family who loves and respects people, and there are some other people we know who they have a hard time doing that. And so we don't spend much time with them because I want to make sure that we're all around people who love and respect each other. I've heard some families have success with talking about, sometimes you need to be put in timeout or sometimes you need a break so that you can think about how you want to act. Sometimes grown-ups need that too. Sometimes there are grown-ups who they're just not quite behaving in a way that we need to be around them right now. I think that at a very simple level, that usually is an okay place to start. As they get a little older, I think that you can talk a little bit more too about safety and about, it matters to be safe in our feelings, it matters to be safe in our bodies. And so there are some people that make me feel like they might not be the safest people to be around. And so we don't spend a lot of time with them. And maybe as we get older, we can think about if we want to give them a chance and see how they act. But for now, we're going to focus on staying safe and, re-emphasizing. I think with sometimes kids can look at an adult's family and see they don't talk to a family member, and it can occur to them that, well, are they going to stop talking to me too? That sort of anxiety. So re-emphasizing that, I love you so much, I will never leave you, we are our own great family, and then let's think about all the other wonderful adults we have in our lives, all the other wonderful people. Sometimes it can be helpful to list them. Oh, we have, Auntie Maria, we have, Uncle Jacob, like they're great. Or we have, your friend Ernie, his mom and dad, they're so fun, huh? Like they're great. And they make you, maybe not telling them they make you feel safe, but asking like, how do you feel when you're with them? So they can start to develop this internal sense of how they should feel around people who love and respect them. So I know that's like a lot of information and there is no perfect way. I'm raising a boy, he's now only 15 months, so I'm not quite to that point yet. But there are some people that are going to be around him that are going to be interesting, and I think we're going to have to set some boundaries and say things like, hey, that's not conversation we have right now around him, and that's a boundary of mine, so I can take myself and my child out of this situation. I know I can't tell you what to do or say, but I'm going to make sure that he's always safe. So, yeah, that's rough though. I applaud your putting your child's need first here, and trying to figure out how to navigate that.
Mm-hmm. No notes. I co-sign. David, what do you think?
And I have had to do that with some people and some family members. I am really hoping that I can improve things with them, or help them to maybe understand my point a little better. And I have had to pull myself out of it because I realized if I don't do this, it's going to make me miserable and it's going to show. So
Yeah.
I had to step back to help myself before I could, and think about it before I could really take any action on it.
Yeah. I think that's a great thing that you're considering that, and you're considering your child's point of view as well. I don't know if parents always do that when they talk about these sensitive situations, because I personally, in my opinion, right, a kid that young, they're not going to understand the matter of facts of the situation, but they may understand feelings before they understand facts, right? They're going to see how you approach it and what your emotional response is that, and probably process that first before they even understand the literal facts of the matter. And I think being able to navigate that and be able to present that in a way that makes sense and, I don't know, is just going to help with their expectations of that relationship is probably the healthiest thing you could do, right? So
You sound like a lovely dad.
yeah, for sure. David, I think that's all the wisdom that comes from this fount, unless you have any other questions or comments for us.
No, that has actually helped me quite a bit. I appreciate that.
I'm so glad.
I definitely don't want to tell my son, like, again, you can't talk to this person because I don't agree with them, or they're doing this or they're doing that.
And someday they're going to have to make those choices for themselves too. So you can't functionally, I think about it, even with I don't know that I can tell my 15-month-old what to do, to be honest. I try, but it's bad. But, it's more important for them to figure out how to make those decisions themselves, how they want to feel when they're with people, and see you making values-based decisions to protect them. That's way more important, than telling them, like, you can't do this because I decided it's bad,
Yeah, that's I don't know. Like I said, I don't think we have anything more to add, but you ended up adding more, so that was great. No, it was great. Thanks so much, David, for calling in on that, and we'll go ahead and let you go. But yeah, I honestly, the fact that you're calling in and asking us, first of all, you don't need my opinion. Sophia's was great, but it's like you're putting thought into it. I think that you should give yourself credit for that.
Seriously, I think thinking about things from a child's perspective, even sometimes the most well-meaning parent can devalue what it is to be a kid, and that their experiences are epic and huge and the emotions matter.
Yes.
I'm not a parenting expert either. Obviously, I just alluded to the fact that my 15-month-old doesn't, there's days when I'm like, okay, well, you're going to eat goldfish crackers and a bunch of pouches of, I don't know, you're fed.
Oh, yeah, that's great. I can't wait when he grows older and sees that clip. I was wondering, so that's why I messed up, because it's the goldfish crackers and the powder. I
will say that plenty of people here at the AC make a lot of jokes about, like, eating him. Like, you brought snacks, and when I bring in this chubby baby, so.
Sophia, I know you're new here, but those aren't jokes.
At one point, I was wondering, at what point do I take them seriously?
There's going to be a barbecue next month, and we were wondering if, that was going to be an option. Of course, I'm vegan, so I'm not participating.
He is quite succulent, but also he's still pretty small.
I'm not going to ask you why you know that he's succulent, but...
have you seen his thighs? It's amazing.